Barclays Center was supposed to be just another stop on Spice's tour. But what went down that night has fans calling it the biggest moment in dancehall beef history. The lights dropped, the crowd roared, and within seconds the energy inside the arena shifted from pure celebration to absolute chaos. Nobody was prepared for what Spice had up her sleeve, just as the beat dropped. Spice grabbed the mic and aimed it straight at Bambi with a diss track so raw, so unfiltered, that the crowd erupted like an earthquake. Fans were screaming, phones were flying in the air, and social media instantly lit up. Clips started circulating within minutes, millions of views before the concert was even over. But this wasn't just a diss. This was Spice shutting Bambi down in front of the entire world. Line after line, bar after bar. She didn't just clap back, she buried her. The audience gasped at the punchlines, and even the DJ looked shocked as Spice pushed it further and further. By the time the final verse hit, it wasn't just a concert anymore. It was war, and Barclays had become the battlefield. The night was supposed to be unforgettable. But nobody imagined just how far things would go inside the Barclays Center. Fans were buzzing before the lights even dimmed, lining up outside. The arena with posters, flags, and phones fully charged, ready to capture every moment. Spice had been teasing something special all week. And in true Spice fashion, the Queen of Dancehall delivered more than anyone bargained for. This wasn't just another show. It was a public execution, a lyrical massacre aimed directly at Bambi, and it left fans screaming louder than the speakers. From the moment Spice hit the stage, the energy was electric. She walked out in a glittering blue bodysuit that caught the light like shattered glass, her dancers moving in perfect sync behind her. The crowd chanted her name, wave after wave of love crashing over the stage. But behind the big smile and the dazzling performance, something else was brewing. Spice wasn't just here to entertain, she was here to settle scores. The first few songs rolled out like fire, hit after hit, the crowd dancing, screaming, sweating. But then, just as the beat to her fourth track kicked in, she stopped, the music cold. The arena fell into silence. Fans thought maybe there was a technical glitch. But then Spice leaned into the mic, smirking, and said the words that made thousands of people freeze in place. Barclays, y'all ready for me to talk my truth tonight? The crowd erupted. Everyone thought she was about to announce new music, maybe even a surprise guest. What came instead? The opening bars of a brand new track no one had ever heard before. A track so sharp it cut like glass. Within seconds, it was clear. This wasn't a regular song. This was a diss straight at Bambi. The first line dropped and the audience gasped in unison. Spice didn't hold back. She dragged Bambi's failed ventures, her crumbling relationships, her desperate attempts to stay relevant, all in front of thousands of screaming fans. Each line landed like a punch, and the crowd reacted with louder and louder roars. Fans were clutching their heads, recording with shaky hands, shouting, "Oh my God!" As the verses rolled on, and then Spice went for the jugular. With one devastating line, she referenced Bambi's most embarrassing public fight. A low blow so brutal that even the DJ had to cut the beat for a second. Unable to believe what he just heard, the entire crowd screamed, some fans even jumping onto their seats, waving their arms like they were watching history unfold. Barclays wasn't just a venue anymore. It was a courtroom. And Spice was the judge delivering the final sentence. What made it worse for Bambi was that she wasn't even there to defend herself. As the diss track poured out of the speakers, fans started pulling out their phones, tagging Bambi in clips, flooding her social media with the footage before the concert had even finished. On Twitter, hashtags exploded in real time. Hashtag Spice Diss, hashtag Bambi Clapback, hashtag Barclays Beef. Within minutes, millions of people who weren't even at the show were already picking sides. But Spice wasn't done. Halfway through the track, she stopped, again letting the audience scream until they lost their voices. And then she leaned in, eyes glittering, and shouted, "Barclays, if you're with me, let Bambi know. Suck your mother." The crowd's response was deafening. Thousands screamed, the line back shaking the walls of the arena. It was raw, was chaotic. It was viral. Security guards looked on nervously, some trying to calm down sections of the crowd that were pushing forward toward the stage. Meanwhile, Spice's dancers amped it up, hyping the audience into an absolute frenzy. Fans said later, "It felt like being in the middle of a riot. Only this riot was musical." Every lyric sparking louder screams and more chaos. The diss track ran nearly 5 minutes long, each verse a new dagger. And when Spice finally dropped the mic at the end, the Barclays Center literally shook. Fans stomped their feet, clapped their hands, and screamed her name until she came back out for an encore. But by then, the damage was done. Bambi had just been publicly destroyed live on stage in front of the entire world. Backstage, insiders revealed, producers were in complete panic. No one had approved this track. No one knew it was coming. One source said, the minute Spice started performing, you could see the producers on headsets screaming at each other. They were like, "Cut the cameras, cut the feed, we can't air this," but it was too late. The whole crowd had already recorded everything. By the time Spice left the stage, clips of the diss had already gone viral. Fan uploads hit TikTok, Instagram Reels, Twitter, millions of views stacking up in real time. Memes were born instantly. One clip of Spice smirking as she delivered her knockout line against Bambi was turned into a GIF within minutes, spreading like wildfire across social media. And while the crowd was celebrating, another war was breaking out online. Team Spice fans flooded timelines with praise, calling her the undisputed queen for ending Bambi. Team Bambi, however, scrambled to defend her, claiming Spice had gone too far, that it wasn't fair to drag private issues into a public arena. But the louder they protested, the harder Spice's fans clapped back, drowning them out with chants of victory. Industry insiders were already weighing in. One anonymous label executive was quoted saying, "What Spice did at Barclays tonight wasn't just a diss, it was a career move. She turned the entire industry's eyes back on her and showed everyone that she's still untouchable. Bambi may never recover from this." And just like that, what was supposed to be a regular concert became headline news. Every blog, every gossip page, every entertainment channel had one story plastered across their feeds. Spice destroys Bambi live at Barclays. But the real shock? This was only part one of the story. 'Cause what happened after the concert? The backstage reactions, the leaked calls, the furious DMs would make things spiral even further out of control. The concert may have ended, but the chaos was only just beginning. As Spice stepped off stage with that victorious smirk, the energy backstage was the complete opposite of the roaring crowd outside. Producers were frantic, security was tense, and crew members whispered in hushed voices about whether what they just witnessed would ever make it to TV.1. Insider claimed the atmosphere felt like a bomb had gone off. The second Spice walked back, the source explained, everyone had their phones blowing up. Executives were already calling, asking, what the hell just happened? They had no clue she was about to launch a diss track right there in Barclays. It wasn't scripted, it wasn't planned, it was raw. And raw was the only word to describe it. The diss wasn't just a jab, it was a lyrical demolition that left Bambi exposed in front of millions. Spice had ripped the Band-Aid off every single wound Bambi had tried to hide, and by the time the show was over, the internet had already judged the outcome. Twitter went into meltdown mode. Within 30 minutes, the top trending hashtags worldwide were hashtag Spice Diss, hashtag Barclays Beef, and hashtag Bambi Done. One fan tweeted, "This wasn't a concert, this was a funeral and Spice was the preacher. Rip Bambi." Another posted a split screen video, Spice performing on stage versus Bambi's old interviews about her perfect life. captioned "The Lie versus the Reality." Instagram gossip blogs wasted no time. Within an hour, Shade Room-style accounts had posted clips of Spice's performance, each pulling in hundreds of thousands of views. One viral caption read, "Spice turned Barclays into a courtroom and delivered the verdict. Bambi equals done." Comments piled up with laughing emojis, fire emojis, and declarations that Spice had officially cemented herself as the queen. Meanwhile, Bambi's silence was deafening. Fans stormed her socials, flooding her last post with snake emojis, clown emojis, and brutal comments like, "You thought you could come for Spice. Big mistake." But behind the scenes, Bambi wasn't silent at all. Insiders say she was absolutely losing it. One source close to production described the scene in chilling detail. Bambi was screaming, throwing her phone across the room. She said, "How dare they let her perform that track? This wasn't supposed to happen. They set me up." Producers tried to calm her down, insisting they had no clue what Spice was going to do. But Bambi wasn't buying it. She reportedly accused them of secretly plotting against her, allowing Spice to blindside her with the diss. At one point, she allegedly yelled, "This is sabotage. They want me gone from this show." And then came the first real twist. While Bambi was still fuming backstage, an audio clip began circulating online. It was short, grainy, but unmistakable. A hot mic had picked up Bambi moments before the show, muttering about Spice in a tone dripping with venom. She thinks she a queen, but I'ma bury that B asterisk 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 before this season ends. Asterisk, when fans heard the clip, the narrative flipped completely. What had looked like Spice going out of her way to attack suddenly seemed like payback. The audio painted Bambi as the one plotting first, and Spice simply struck before she could. Social media exploded again. "Oh, so Bambi been plotting. Spice just beat her to the punch," one fan wrote. Others flooded the comments with gifs of chess pieces, captioned, "Checkmate." The audio leak spread so fast that by midnight it had already been replayed millions of times. Blogs declared it the smoking gun that proved Spice wasn't just being petty. She was defending herself, but the drama didn't stop there. Because as Spice basked in the glow of her victory, sipping champagne backstage, another bombshell dropped. A mystery DM leak hit Twitter. Screenshots allegedly showed messages between Bambi and a well-known producer from the show. In the texts, Bambi appeared to be begging the producer to cut Spice's scenes from the upcoming episodes, calling her toxic and bad for the brand. Fans couldn't believe it. True, this meant Bambi had been actively trying to get Spice erased from the franchise altogether. And now, seeing Spice flip the script in front of a sold-out Barclays crowd? Fans called it the ultimate karma. Bambi tried to end Spice behind the scenes, but Spice ended her career on stage. One viral tweet declared, Bambi's team scrambled into damage control mode. Her PR rep allegedly begged her to issue a statement, something to cool down the firestorm. But Bambi refused. According to one insider, she screamed, "If I speak, I'll bury myself even deeper. I need proof. I need something on Spice." And just like that, the war shifted gears. Bambi wasn't just embarrassed now, she was desperate. Determined to fight back, she allegedly started combing through old voicemails, messages, and unseen clips to dig up dirt on Spice. The tension was so high that even other cast members got pulled into the storm. Yandi posted a cryptic Instagram story with the words, "Truth always comes to light." Fans instantly speculated she was siding with Spice. Carly read, on the other hand, reposted a shady meme about women who pretend to be queens but crumble under pressure, which many took as a subliminal aimed at Spice. But the most shocking reaction came from a love and hip-hop producer who went on Twitter and simply wrote, "What Spice did tonight. You'll never see it again." Fans immediately flooded, the replies demanding to know if the diss track would air in the actual show or if producers were going to censor it. The tweet only fueled speculation that the footage might be buried, but with millions of fan recordings already online, burying it seemed impossible. By the end of the night, Bambi was trending for all the wrong reasons. Spice, meanwhile, was being crowned a legend. Even international outlets started picking up the story, framing it as a monumental moment not just in love and hip-hop, but in live performance history. But here's where things take a darker turn. Because while fans celebrated Spice's win, whispers started spreading about something more sinister. Word backstage was that Bambi had gotten hold of a recording that could flip the script again, a recording involving Spice and someone from her inner circle. Nobody knew exactly what it contained, but insiders claimed it was bad enough to shake Spice's empire. Was Bambi about to launch her counterattack? Or was this just desperation, a last attempt to claw her way back after being humiliated? In front of the world, the answer would come soon. But for now, Barclays was still ringing with the echoes of Spice's voice. And Bambi's silence only made the fans believe she had already lost. And yet, as one anonymous insider warned, don't count Bambi out. She's wounded, but she's not finished. The tape she's holding could blow this whole thing wide open. By the time the sun rose the next morning, Spice's Barclays performance had already become legend. Clips dominated TikTok headlines, screamed her name, and every major gossip blog had crowned her the undisputed winner of the feud. But while Spice's fans were still celebrating, something far darker was brewing in the shadows. Because Bambi, humiliated and cornered, wasn't just sitting back and licking her wounds, she was plotting a counterstrike. According to insiders, Bambi spent the night in a frenzy, combing through old files, texts, and voicemails. She didn't sleep, one source revealed. She was on the phone with 3 different people, saying she needed dirt on Spice, something explosive that would flip the story back in her favor. She knew if she didn't fight back, her career was over. And then, like a scene ripped out of a scandal thriller, whispers began to spread about a tape. A secret recording allegedly in Bambi's possession, a recording that could take Spice down. Nobody knew exactly what was on it. Some claimed it was a phone call where Spice admitted to sabotaging other artists. Others swore it was a video of Spice having a backstage meltdown, screaming about producers and threatening to quit the show. A few even said it involved Spice's personal life, something she never wanted the public to hear. Whatever the truth, one thing was clear. Bambi was holding onto it like a loaded weapon by midday. Rumors of the tape had already leaked onto social media. A Twitter account with a reputation for dropping love and hip-hop spoilers tweeted, "Y'all celebrating too early. Bambi got a recording that's gonna flip this whole thing upside down. Trust me, it's coming." Within minutes, #SpiceTape started trending. Fans were desperate, demanding answers. Was this real? Or was it just another desperate stunt from someone already destroyed? Spice, on the other hand, wasn't fazed. She posted a fiery Instagram video, laughing as she waved her Barclays mic in the air. "Dem say dem got tape." She smirked in her thick patois, "Me no fraid of nothing. Me stand pan truth every time. Bring it." Her confidence only fueled her fan base, who swarmed Bambi's socials with comments like, "Drop the tape or shut up." But Bambi wasn't ready, not yet. Behind the scenes, insiders said she was negotiating. One producer claimed Bambi was calling around trying to decide the right moment to release it. She didn't just want it on social media, she wanted it on the show on camera, so Spice couldn't run from it. Meanwhile, other cast members started to feel the ripple effects. Yandi went live on Instagram, visibly shaken. "Listen, y'all don't understand," she said. "When you mix personal lives, cameras, and revenge, it gets ugly. What happened at Barclays was already insane, but what's coming? It's on another level. It's Carly read, never one to miss. An Opportunity posted a cryptic story showing herself sipping wine with the caption, "Spice, better buckle up." Fans immediately took it as confirmation that she had Bambi's back. Even producers were scrambling. An insider spilled. They were terrified. If the tape is as bad as Bambi claims, it could cause legal issues, lawsuits, maybe even contracts being ripped up. But at the same time, they know this is the kind of drama that makes headlines and ratings skyrocket. They were torn: protect Spice or let the bomb drop for the show. By late afternoon, the tension had reached a breaking point. And that's when the first snippet surfaced. A 13-second audio clip leaked on a shady gossip page. The grainy recording captured a woman's voice, allegedly Spice, saying, "I'll ruin her before she even gets the chance. Producers don't run me, I run this show." The page captioned it, "Is this Spice talking about Bambi?" The internet exploded. Some fans swore it was fake, an edited clip meant to frame her. Others said the voice was undeniably Spice's. Within an hour, snippet had been reposted thousands of times, dissected, slowed down, enhanced. YouTubers uploaded exposes analyzing the waveform. Twitter spaces filled with fans arguing about whether it was real. Spice herself responded quickly, dismissing it as a bad edit and a desperate move. She went live, blasting Bambi without naming her directly. "Ja, tink me afraid of liars. Ja Hoffy, come better than dat. Everybody know me, stand pan respect. Me nah hide me mouth." Her fans flooded the comments with support, but the seed of doubt had been planted, and Bambi, she was just getting started. Hours later, she posted a cryptic Instagram story. A black screen with the words "Part 1" was cute. Wait for the full thing. The internet lost its mind. Was she hinting at a longer version of the tape? Was she about to unleash it all? The blogs feasted. Headlines screamed, "Bambi strikes back with secret Spice recording and the tape that could end Spice." Fans who had been chanting Spice's praises after Barclays suddenly found themselves uneasy. The conversation shifted from Spice. But what if the tape is real? Insiders revealed Spice's camp was on high alert. Her team reportedly called an emergency meeting, lawyers on standby, strategists debating how to spin things if Bambi really dropped the full tape. They were sweating, one source admitted. They know how quickly public opinion can change. One bad clip, one ugly headline, and all that Barclays glory could vanish. But the most chilling detail? Bambi wasn't the only one who had heard the tape. According to whispers, at least 2 other cast members had been sent copies. Insurance? In case Bambi tried to back out or if producers tried to silence her. If true, that meant the bomb was primed and ready to go off from multiple directions. By midnight, the fandom was split down the middle. Team Spice screamed that the tape was fake, a desperate stunt. Team Bambi gloated that receipts were finally coming to light. The battle lines had been redrawn, and the war that Spice thought she had already won was suddenly hanging in the balance. And then came the cliffhanger nobody expected. A new anonymous account popped up on Twitter with a single post, a blurred screenshot of what looked like a longer recording file titled spice_confession_full.mp. The caption read, "Tomorrow, noon, it all ends." Fans lost their minds. Was this Bambi's burner account? Was someone else leaking the tape independently? Nobody knew. All they knew was that if this was real, Spice's empire could come crashing down in less than 24 hours. Barclays had been Spice's victory lap, but now the battlefield had shifted. The real war wasn't on stage, it was online, in leaks, tapes, and whispers. And as the clock ticked down toward noon, the entire industry held its breath, waiting to see whether Spice would survive the storm or finally fall. And now, family, this is where we leave you hanging on the edge of your seat. Barclays may have crowned Spice the queen of the night, but the war isn't over. It's just getting started. That leaked clip, that shady? New account threatening to drop the full confession. This isn't some casual tea spill. This is career-ending, legacy-rewriting chaos waiting to explode. So here's the real question. Do you believe the tape is real? Or is this just Bambi's desperate last stand to claw back relevance after being humiliated in front of the world? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now, because trust me, I'll be reading every single one. And don't just comment, join the movement. Hit that like button if you think Spice already buried this feud at Barclays. Smash subscribe if you believe the tape could flip the whole script. And turn on post notifications, because when that clock strikes noon tomorrow, this so-called confession really drops, we'll be breaking it down in real time. No delays, no filters, raw, uncut truth the second it happens. This story is no longer just about a diss track. It's about power, survival, and who the culture will crown when the smoke clears. Will Spice stand tall as the GOAT, untouchable and unbothered? Or will Bambi actually pull off the unthinkable, ending her rival with one brutal leak? The only way to find out. Stay locked right here, because the cameras might cut, but we never stop rolling. This saga is far from finished, and the next chapter might be the wildest yet.